Am I the asshole for refusing to house my older sister again? I'm a 24-year-old woman, and my family has a very unusual dynamic. My older sister is 27, and we were raised very differently. From the time I was 13, I was treated like an adult. I was told to get a job, to be responsible for myself, and to pay rent if I lived with my parents. As a result, I've been working and taking care of myself since I was a teenager. My sister, on the other hand, was raised being told she would never have to work because our parents would take care of her. She has never had a job, never learned how to drive, and over the years I've personally funded many of her expenses and driven her everywhere, at my parents' request. When she was 25, our parents kicked her out, and she moved in with me. She lived with me for 2 years, until she later moved in with our grandmother. While she lived with me, she refused to clean up after herself, saying that cleaning stressed her out. She cooked multiple meals a day, didn't finish them, and then dumped dishes into the sink with half the food still on them. She made messes in different rooms and refused to clean those up as well. Whenever I asked her to help clean or at least get a job, she would cry and tell other people that I was abusing her. Now, my grandmother is trying to kick her out for the same reasons, refusing to work and refusing to clean up after herself. My sister has been texting me constantly, saying that the rest of the family refuses to take her in, and that she's terrified of being kicked out. Recently, she started hinting that I should take her back in permanently, like we used to. By that, she means that she wouldn't work or clean, because apparently that would be my responsibility. I refused. She keeps saying she's scared of living with our physically disabled grandmother and that I need to come get her. I've stood firm, but I feel incredibly guilty. At the same time, I know I can't do it. I work over 60 hours a week, and I can't come home to a filthy house, clean up her messes, and listen to her laugh about them. I can't live on eggshells, worried that if I say the wrong thing, she'll accuse me of abuse again. My parents made it clear when they kicked her out that they expected me to take care of her permanently, but I just can't. So, am I the asshole for refusing to house my sister when my grandmother is kicking her out?
Am I the asshole for not wanting to take a government job just so my family can keep their house? I'm 19 years old. My dad works a senior government position and my family lives in an official government house. When he retires, we're required to move out. We don't own any other property. Because of that, my family is pushing me to take a lower level government job. Their plan is to delay the problem or possibly have the house transferred or reallotted under my name. But here's the issue. If I take that job, the house becomes directly tied to my position. If I ever quit, resign, or get transferred, we lose the house again. The problem is, I don't want a government job. That career path isn't for me at all. The only reason they want me to do this is because of the house. And what scares me is that once I accept the job, I'll never be able to leave. Because the moment I do, it turns into, you're making us homeless. I have siblings, including older ones, but for some reason, all the pressure is on me. I understand why my family is scared, but I also feel like I'm being asked at 19 to lock myself into a life I don't want out of guilt. I haven't fully refused yet, but even thinking about it makes me feel trapped. So, am I the asshole for not wanting to take a job knowing it would basically trap me forever because of the house?
Would I be the asshole for telling my coworker she has body odor? Hi, I've been a long-time lurker here, and I'm looking for an impartial opinion. I'm a 28-year-old woman, and I work at a medical lab. I genuinely love my job, and I like knowing that even in a small way, I'm helping people. Recently, we hired a new coworker. I don't know her exact age, but I'd guess she's in her early 20s. She's incredibly sweet and very dedicated. She often stays late to finish her work even after everyone else has gone home. Here's where the problem starts. She has extremely strong body odor. At first, I honestly thought it was one of my male coworkers, but after several times of her walking past me and the smell lingering in the air for a good 10 seconds, I realized it was her. I really don't want to be cruel, but the only other time I've smelled BO this intense was during crowded game nights at a local card shop. I talked to a friend about it and told him I was considering saying something to her. He told me to leave it alone, that it's not my business, and if she's doing her job well, then who cares? I disagree. I feel like she deserves to know. People can genuinely become nose-blind to their own smell, and if it were me, I'd want someone to tell me, even if it was uncomfortable, so would I be the asshole for telling her?
Am I the asshole for getting upset at my roommate for eating my leftovers? I'm 23 years old, and recently I went out of my way between work shifts to get lemon chicken from my favorite restaurant. I had already ordered from there over the weekend, and it's one of my safe foods. For context, I'm very picky with food and not great at eating leftovers. In the past, I've told my roommate that if food sits in the fridge for 5 days, it's fair game. I only have about 3 foods I can reliably eat. Everything else is hit or miss. That day, I was heading back to work and wanted to save some for later, so I put more than half of my lemon chicken in the fridge. I went back to work, ate a small snack, and got home around 9 p.m. When I got home, I noticed my leftover pizza bites from 2 days ago sitting on my roommate's desk. I told them I had planned to eat those and that they were going to be my lunch the next day. They responded by saying, "Oh, they've been in the fridge for 2 days." I took the pizza back and put it in the fridge. That's when I realized my lemon chicken was gone. I asked if they had seen it, and they told me they ate it. I also noticed that Chinese lo mein and other food were gone too. So it wasn't like the chicken was the only option. I told them I had just bought it and barely even got to eat any of it. They just shrugged it off. I left to take my dog outside, and while I was gone, they texted me saying, "I'll buy it next time." I replied that I had really been looking forward to that food, that I now didn't have dinner after a long shift, and that I was only hungry for that specific meal. I never got an apology. So, am I the asshole?
Which one hit you the hardest? Comment below and follow for more.